Hi everyone, welcome to the Getting Started tutorial for Clouds to Max. At the moment I currently have 3D Studio Max open, and I am assuming that you've already installed the plugin. It's usually a pretty simple process to get it installed, so we're starting with a blank project here, and what I want to show you in this video is how to import a point cloud and also how to do some things with it with respect to animating and also manipulation, that sort of thing. So let's get started. First things first, if we want to get a point cloud in here, we're going to go down to the geometry section here and just click on the drop down menu, and at the very bottom here we've got Cloud to Max. So once you click on that, there's in the object type here it says point cloud, so just click on point cloud, go to the center or wherever you'd like to locate the point cloud and just click in the viewport. What you have there is a holder right now for the point cloud, but we haven't selected anything, so go here to select file. And I am going to go up here to my desktop, and I have a Clouds to Max here, and I'm going to choose this Adairsville Downtown export. Now this is a PTCB format. You can bring in PTS, PTCB, and you can also bring in ASCII type files. There is a converter that is going to be included with Clouds to Max, which will allow you to convert any of those formats into PTCB, which is much quicker handling when you get it in here. So I selected the file, and you can see that it's loading up here, and slowly it'll build up here. So you can see I've got most of the scan here. Alright, so if I want to, I could continue, just keep hitting point cloud and clicking here, adding different point clouds as well, so you can add multiple different point clouds. The location and positioning of the point cloud when you put it in is based on the origin point. So when I hit the 0 pointer, I clicked near the origin anyway, so you can see here that I've got one of the scanner positions. It looks like it was the reference scan that was used here. So you can manipulate that and change that as well. I will show you that in a minute, but for the moment I have this scan selected. I'm going to go into the modify panel, and you can see here that it tells me some information here. It's a very simple interface, 27.3, 4 million points loaded, 0.21 million rendered at the moment. And in the parameters section, there's really only 4 settings that you can manipulate here, which keeps things really simple. The first is point size. So point size, depending on the scan, can be arbitrary. So I'm going to change this right now to about 25. That number can vary depending on your scan, big, small. I've had numbers as high as 100, 150. So just be aware that if it looks like it's not changing, just try a larger number. Points per pixel is almost like a density per pixel. So if it looks like your scan is a little thin, like it's looking here, you can increase this number to get more points in per pixel. So I'm going to change this to about 15 and hit, and you'll see that right away it jumps in and fills up a lot more points. Now there is a point where you just won't get any more benefit from increasing this number. So if I hit 25, you can see there was a little change there. If I put in 100, it's really not changing anymore. So I'm going to go back to about 15, and you'll notice also when I go back up here, the number of actual rendered points is now 18.07, so it's getting closer to our maximum, but it's still visible. There's only about 18.7. Now adaptive point size is a little function here that will help you with visualizing the points. So I'm going to move into this pole here and hopefully see this. So right now my adaptive point size is set to 1, and you can see here on the pole the size of the points are quite large. So the closer the points are to the camera, the larger that they will appear. Just to show you the difference, if I set this to 0, you'll see that the points, they all become uniform point sizes. So there's none of this filling because the point sizes are going to be larger. And also the other thing that we can do is for the memory management is the skipping the nth point when it loads. So right now I've got 0, so I'm not skipping any points. I've loaded the full point cloud, but I can go back and just change this. Well, I'm going to load every 5th point, let's say, and there you go. So now I have less points. You can see that it still looks pretty good, probably because the point size is up high enough. So rendering points per pixel, adaptive point size, and skip each nth point, those are the 4 parameters that we have. Pretty simple. Down at the bottom here we have some links here for help and for the website. And that is pretty much it in terms of loading and getting the point cloud in here. Now, a couple of other things. The point cloud is treated like a regular Max object. So if I hit the W key and I want to manipulate this point cloud, I can easily translate it just by moving the gizmo here and grabbing one of the axes and moving it around. The same goes with the rotation, and same goes with scaling. Now, one thing about scaling that we've done here is if we go to the hierarchy and link info, by default the scale is set to be locked, so you can't accidentally scale that up or down because we don't want to affect the actual measurement and scale of this thing. So if you needed to scale something up, you have to come in here and uncheck these like that, and then you're able to scale a point cloud up and down. Okay, I'm going to just undo that and lock those back in because I don't want to do that by accident. Other things that we can do, we can actually animate the point cloud as well. So if I go to auto key and I'm just going to set a keyframe here, I'm going to go forward to 100 and then I'm going to rotate it like this. We've actually just animated the point cloud. I haven't animated a camera path or anything. I've actually animated the point cloud, which is quite interesting. And you can put in multiple models or multiple point clouds, excuse me, and animate each of them relative to each other. So if I had a scan of a vehicle, I could put that scan of the vehicle in this particular point cloud and animate it traveling down and around relative to one another. So that is pretty much it in terms of getting started. And in some other videos, I'm going to talk to you about rendering. Also, there'll be another video on how to actually install from scratch. But that's the basics. Thank you.